Finance Committee, and then we can go back into the regular meeting agenda. So start time is 1. The first item on the agenda that I just want us to do quickly is the hybrid meetings resolution. So to remind everybody, there was a law passed that allowed us to have people join and vote, board members join and vote through an electronic means such as Zoom, as long as we have a quorum in person. The state law expired in July, and then very quickly they re-upped it, but since we haven't had another meeting, we didn't get to renew our resolution. I think our resolution probably carries us through and didn't really need any action, but I just figured just to be safe, what I'm asking is that we update our resolution. The law now goes through July of 2026. So we are covered for July 1st through July 1st of 2026. So we are covered for a few more years. But I wanted to see if anybody wanted to make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you, Francis.
A second.
Thank you.
And this is not dependent on the town of Southold adopting the.
Nope, we're separate and apart.
Yeah. Just wanted to confirm.
And then all in favor? Okay. Excellent. So what that means is, Jean, now you can vote. So what I'm going to suggest is that we pause the regular meeting at 10:03, and then we open the Finance Committee meeting at 10:03 also.
Okay.
And then we can go back into the regular meeting. So the Finance Committee meeting, the only item that we have on the agenda is the budget. I sent you my worksheet for the budget. There's a couple of items in here that I have question marks next to. Our charges for service are pretty straightforward. Assuming that we don't have any new activity, that's what it's going to be. The interest, our investment interest, I put 4,000, which is what we had last year, as a placeholder. Jean, correct me if you disagree, but it looks to me like we have roughly $3,400 in interest in our, through our accounts through August. So that's.
We do.
Okay.
We have 3,326.46 year to date. That's through 8/31. And with 4 months left. And a rate reduction coming in the very near. The one thing I didn't have, I've been in Long Island City all week, so the one thing I didn't have with me was the terms of our CDs when they expire again. But I would.
So Jean, the 6414 CD matures 10/4/24.
Okay.
And the CD that we just matured and we renewed, that one, the 3371, matures 11/28/25. So that one we've got good, a decent amount of time on. It'll take us almost through 25. The one that expires in October, obviously, I suspect we're going to get a lower rate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we speculating?
After today, it's
We're speculating.
yeah. Or
Well, you can put estimates next. Obviously, they're estimates.
Well, yeah, it's a budget. It is definitely an estimate.
definition.
I don't think that Paris will allow me to put anything other than a number.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, but I will put, if you think 4,000 is reasonable, we can put 4,000. If you think we should drop it to 3, I'll put whatever number you feel is appropriate.
John, I'm feeling more like 3,500.
I was gonna say 35, but
Let's all go, let's do 35. Use
Okay.
35 as our next year's.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna skip over the audits just for 1 second. We'll come back to that. The website, we got an email from Cybernet. They have not increased their fees since we contracted with them. And they sent an email and said that there's significant upgrades that they have to do, and they've been doing a lot of things without charging everyone. And this was an across the board increase in talking to them. It was something that they did with all of their clients. So they increased us from $600 to $700. We pay it twice a year, so it's went from $300 twice a year to $350 twice a year. So that's why I increased the website to $700. And then going back to the audit, I spoke to John when I got the email that our auditor was terminating our relationship. And John suggested that I double those numbers and put them in there. And again, this is an estimate. I don't know what the audit, the end result of the audit is going to be. I can tell you that. Sorry, I don't know where this is. Asked it to be quiet. I do know that I asked the request for proposals, I asked to get them in by September 16th. So, and our budget is not due, I think it's November 1st. So we have some time on it. If you want to sort of leave those open-ended and we can plug a number in, or we could just plug a number in and recognize that it's a budget. It's a best guess.
fine with what John suggested and you've included here. It is.
Yeah, I agree. I don't.
We have nothing more to base it
Yeah,
on,
something.
Okay.
other than the research that you've done. And yeah,
Okay. So any other comments, concerns, items that you want to discuss on the proposed budget? Okay. So I guess, do you guys I'm sorry, in a committee, would you do a resolution, or do we just wait and adopt and present it to the full board?
I think the budget is adopted by the full board.
Okay, so you guys, we'll present this to the full board momentarily. Can I have a motion to end the,
So moved.
you?
I'll second
All in favor? Aye.
that. It's have a call.
Thank you.
Official.
Okay, all in favor?
I'm immune.
Aye.
Even if it's not.
I'm immune.
Thank you. Okay, so now let's go back into our regular meeting, and we're gonna start this again at 9. Okay. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is our March 22nd, 2024 Audit Committee and regular meeting minutes, which were sent to you in advance of the meeting. Did anyone have any questions or edits or concerns with those?
I did not.
Okay, I mentioned when I hit record, I paused the recording at our last meeting and then started it again. So if you see on our website, there's no video available.
That's,
I know, it
I
is what
don't
it
think
is.
anyone's gonna be too upset.
No, you know what? There's all sorts of things that go wrong. This was operator error, but it is what it is. Can we have a motion to adopt the minutes from our March meeting?
I make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the 2025 budget, which the Finance Committee just reviewed and is presenting to the full
For
board.
recommending, right?
Yeah, recommending. Does anyone, do we have a motion to accept the budget as presented?
Move it.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, our 2024 audit. So as you are aware, we received an email from our current, I guess, or previous auditors that they are no longer going to be doing municipal audits. As a result, I reached out to a number of audit firms. I sent to 10. I sent 10 emails, and or some of them you have to go through their website to do. But I reached out to 10 firms. I've received 2 responses that they have too much work. They can't take on a new client. So 2 of them have already said they're not interested. I had a phone call yesterday with one firm that told me that they're going to send a proposal. And I got 2 emails back requesting additional information, and I responded to those right away. I spoke to another firm, and they are going to be putting in a proposal. And I realized this morning, that I should reach out to the firm that audits the town and see if they would be interested. So I'm going to follow up with them. Just so you know, I reached out to PKF O'Connor Davies, Sheehan, Baldessari, and Coaster, and Baldessari said that they had too much work. Cullen and Danowski, I have not heard back from them. I will follow up with a phone call. Long Island Financial Management Services, I spoke to them. They're going to be sending a proposal. Cusack and Company, I have not heard back from them, but I will I'm going to call, because some of these you send to like info at.
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow up with a phone call since I haven't heard back. Benadio, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I haven't heard back from them, and that was entered into a website portal. So I'm going to reach out to them. EFPR Group, they responded requesting more information. Bowers, I haven't heard back from, and DeMarco, Abusi, and Pascarella, they said they have too much work right now. So if anybody has any other leads or thoughts, I'm happy to reach out and try and get some more proposals. What I did, so a few of these are from upstate, which wouldn't be my normal avenue, but we do it all remote. It doesn't necessarily matter where they are. So I went onto the ABO's website and I just went through and saw, because you have to post your audits, who were people using. So that was my approach. I can keep
Is that
it going.
information put in the RFP? The fact that it's remote? I just was wondering that. People's minds.
I don't know if I don't think I put that it was remote, but I will tell you, printed. I didn't get the whole thing. I just realized printed odd. I did.
The only reason I asked is it might change people's
Because
idea.
they mean budget
Yeah.
travel or hours, FaceTime.
And I can follow up with that because I'm going to reach out to everybody that I haven't heard from anyway. But one of them asked if we had a preference for in person or remote. Actually, it was, do we want to meet in our office or remote? So that was easy.
Yeah. Is it your living room? Was it my living room?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Right?
Whose turn is it?
Um,
The office. My front porch.
Depends on the weather.
Exactly.
Okay, so I did not put that in there, but I will make sure to follow up with them and
Okay. It is what it is. We really don't have anything to do or say about it until we have proposals, and maybe we get accountants to give us a break, which is possible.
Hypothetically, what if one isn't done on time? Is
So
there any precedent for that anyway?
So that would, if we didn't have it in on time, that would mean that we didn't submit Paris. And I think that you have 2 years before you get put on a list, and they tell you you're late, and you get emails, and they probably would reach out to the town and say, hey, what's going on? Of course. But I think it's a few years before before there's really any action that takes place. So I can tell you that when I started, so Paris is due at the end of March, and I don't think we got Paris in until December, January following year, so it was months late. I reached out to them and I explained what happened, and I said, we're newly hired and Bruce passed away. It happens. There wasn't really, couldn't avoid it. And it took time to get into Paris, to get things organized. And they said, thank you for calling. And, we will send, there's going to be this, you'll make it onto this list. This will happen, but you have time. So they were understanding.
I wouldn't want to be in a situation where 2 years from now we can submit it in audit.
Yeah,
And we're suddenly saying, here's a gun that's to your head, and the next guy says $15,000, and we say, okay.
Yeah, that's what
It's 2
I
years old.
It's like, there's a point where you press to have to spend as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
But it'd be,
So we'll just keep going.
Trying.
I called the CFO at my other organization. She does. I'm trying to get some.
Okay.
She had her own firm. Should know something.
Okay.
It was not for profit. I don't know if they were not for profit.
Well, so one of the things I did put in the RFP was please evidence that you have the qualifications to audit municipal. And I think if people don't, I'm either going to get an email that says, we're not interested, but I'll just get an email that says we're not qualified. This isn't the work that we do. Thank you so much. Because Cullen and Danowski just came to my mind, I reached out to them. They have in the past done municipal audits. I don't know that they're still doing them, so they may have moved away from that work also. So, but I don't mind reaching out, it's a phone call or an email. I'm happy if anybody has any leads, I'm happy to pursue them. The one thing,
Notice by any chance who Greenport uses.
I didn't look.
I'll see if I can find out.
Okay. Yeah. It's probably on their website.
Yeah, I'll be able to find out.
Yeah. And maybe I'll look and see who, Port Jefferson, we can look at Jog.
Yeah.
Most little business development districts and the other little groups that are out here, do they have audit requirement? Because there's a lot of little tiny things out here that run this and that and the other thing. I don't know if they're in audits, but seem to be several of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure they need to. I'm not sure that they raise my money. Okay, well, I'll see if I can dig in.
Yeah.
Maybe, I know these organizations have very limited scope, but pop up in the paper sometimes. About something. Seem to be organized and somehow with officials who are elected or somehow representative. You think if they were hungry.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
perhaps Noah and Unistat, and they work with a lot of people, so he could be a good contact to see your phone, because they do a lot of it. Little small entities on the ad.
Another firm.
Cullen and Dan now. That's who they use. I reached out to them.
Okay. Well, but that's good though, because I wasn't really sure if they still did municipal audit, so apparently they do.
And so 2023,
Okay.
year ending 20.
Yeah, I actually couldn't find the town's 2023 audit, but I found their 2022. So maybe it's
That was their federal audit, the single audit.
okay.
Check.
Well, no, the town has it. The town has it to Paris.
Lucky with them. Yes.
The only other stumbling point with this is, as you know, it's due by March 31st, and the first year of an audit is more involved than subsequent years. I did ask for two years. I don't want someone to tell us a low price in the first year and then an inflated price the next year, or at least if that is the fact, I'd like us to be able to be aware of that when we make a decision. So I asked for 2 years of proposals. So the only stumbling point is we typically don't meet again until January. think that's gonna be a little bit late to choose an auditor.
We should choose. If we have a proposal that we swallow, we definitely
Yeah.
choose it quickly. That requires a meeting.
Well, we can either meet again, or I think we can do it through email if it's awkward to meet, and ratify it in January. So I just wanted to put that out there. I will keep you guys informed as I'm getting information, and we'll go from there. I'm hoping in 10 days or so, I will have a whole bunch of information to send. So I don't think we need to vote on anything. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page with where we are with the 2024 audit. Not what I expected when I put that. I put this on the agenda prior to getting that email, and I had a very different that I was planning on saying, but here we are. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so if there's no other questions on that. The next item on our agenda is our banking resolution. So previously, we discussed making some changes to our banking resolution, because right now it says investments shall be limited to high yield savings accounts, CDs, and treasuries with a maturity no longer than 1 year. We discussed possibly changing that, and we didn't, but then when we got the latest CD, it went out 17 months.
Yeah.
So I would like to update our banking resolution and then ratify the CD that we got. So how do you think that sentence should read? With a maturity no longer than
2 years.
2 years?
I think, Gene, 2 years, right?
24 months, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay,
That's the only change.
that's the only change, yeah.
We're still being accurate.
No. Crypto.
Crypto, that's it.
Yeah.
Gene? Did you hear that?
No.
Crypto all the way. How much you can make.
Lose.
Sorry.
Do I have a motion to update our banking resolution? Okay, Charles and Francis.
Well, we'll do that.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And then the next item, I should have just made it banking. The next item is ratifying the CD, which we opened June 28th of 24. It's a 17-month CD. It matures November 28th of 2025. The APY is 4.25%, and the rate is 4.1624%.
Okay.
Do we have a resolution? I mean,
I'll move it.
thank you, Francis.
Second.
Thank you, Charles. Charles beat you to it.
No worries.
Probably not, it's just the delay.
Delay, yeah.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is a resolution for our website. As I mentioned in our finance committee, our web design maintenance company increased the costs from $600 a year to $700 a year. So, and we actually got the first invoice with that increased amount. So we need a resolution to approve that increase. You have a motion?
I make a motion.
Francis?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jean.
Jean made the motion, and I think
Francis.
Francis seconded. Okay, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then the last item on my portion of the agenda is Peconic Community School. So I was told that they have some questions and they're going to reach out to me, but that they were getting ready for the start of school. Haven't heard from them, and I'm sure this is a little bit of a hectic time for them. But what I've been told is that the project is still in the works. They are still interested in bond financing, that they've been working on their fundraising also. but I haven't, I thought I was hoping that I might hear from her, like there'd be a little lull at the end of August, right before the school year started, but I suspect they were very busy. Yeah, a new location, that alone,
Yeah.
at the start of the school year is always hectic. So I don't really have much to update other than that I've been told that they are still working on it and that we will hear from them. What I was told is that they're looking for some possible banks that might be interested in their bond financing. So I have some names to share with them. Give some people a heads up. You might get a phone call from this person. It's probably fallen to the wayside at this point, but I do have some names to share with them. If anyone has a lead that you think, assuming that I hear from her.
He used to be at,
Okay.
I'll check.
Okay.
He used an office somewhere.
Yeah. I think they have an office in Armandale, actually. Or at least a branch there, but.
No, there's an
Yeah,
office that
an
do not for profit.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's what I have. And then, Jean, do you want to go over your report? Does anyone have any questions?
Just so everybody knows, I did ask Greg whether he had any interest in talking to us, so board like, since this not come back to me on this, so I'm assuming we're just under the radar, not required for anything particular, and not worry about it.
Available if they need us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if something happens with chronic, then,
yeah, we should make sure that they're.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I
In the
don't,
meantime, they have probably more pressing.
yeah, there's stuff that's imminent. And they did, both Greg and can't think of her name right now. One of the other town board members did participate when one of the meetings when Peconic School
Yeah.
was in and presented to us. So they were at least involved in that portion of it. Jean, do you want to
Sure.
share your?
We can walk through quickly. So the report outlines the status of our checking account, our savings account, and then the 2 certificates of deposit. In each section, you'll see there's a blue highlighted number, and that number represents what we've been reconciled through. So this is all reflective as of 6:30. We have other information that's available subsequent to 6:30. However, that hasn't been reconciled yet. So until that's reconciled, I'm working off of the blue number, which takes me right through everything that has been reconciled completely, particularly with regard to the checkbook.
So Jean, let me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I printed it in black and white, so I don't think anyone can see the blue. And I also, when it printed, it came out a little bit wacky. So sorry, I had to turn it in an odd way.
No worries.
I
So
clicked the wrong
basically,
button.
any number following June has not been reconciled completely. Any number up till June 30th has been, and that's what I'm working off of. The savings account, year-to-date interest, $234.53. We're at 1% interest. That just keeps plodding along. Our certificate of deposit, $33.71. Year-to-date interest on this account has been $1,515.48. And year-to-date interest for certificate of deposit 6414, $1,576.45. So both exceeding the prior year. And this is looking at what we've accrued so far. Our current cash position as of 6:30 is $168,794.22. With 4 months remaining, we're probably going to, I expect us to exceed our interest projection for this year. We currently have right now $12,785.21 in the checkbook. That will be less Lisa's payment, her quarterly payment in September. And so we'll be down, I should have figured that out. If I had the checkbook in front of me, I would tell you what that is. But basically it's $5,000 less. So for argument's sake, 7,785, just in round numbers. And so we'll have another payment to Lisa in December. So what we can anticipate, probably we are going to need to move money from the savings account to the checking account in January, because the timing of the inflows from Eastern Long Island Hospital and Peconic Landing, that usually hits our balance sheet somewhere late February, early March. So we're going to be a little skinny at the end of this year. And other than that, the checkbook is in proof. We're current, and nothing else exciting to report.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you for all this detail too. It's really helpful. Do appreciate it.
No.
Does anyone have any questions? Could we make a resolution, a motion to adopt the treasurer's report? No
We
need?
adopted.
Okay.
I think we just
Okay.
we reviewed it, but I don't think
Okay.
we adopted. I think it-
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have anything else.
Let's just October.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we should read as soon as we have it.
Okay. I asked,
Not too much after.
yeah, because yeah, we need, especially since it's the first year, I think they're gonna have a little more. I mean, our audit isn't a huge audit at all, but it's gonna be a little bit more work on their part. They have to sort of catch up, learn who we are, get the swing of things. So do we want to tentatively choose a date in October? How do you want to?
Friday.
We can, my schedule is a little uncertain, but we can choose
I
one.
mean, it's certainly when we can get that. What's the last Friday in October? It's not Halloween. I'm going to try that.
The 25th. October 25th is the last Friday in October. Just October Fridays are 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th.
I like the 25th.
Let's just pick the 25th for now.
And this is only to deal with the audit.
Yeah.
And I will, as things come in, I will share everything with you. I'll keep you in the loop with what I'm getting. And one thing that each of the auditors that have reached out to me, they asked what our budget was for last year, and I have told them that I was hoping for a blind audit. My fear is that if they see what we were paying, which honestly, if they look on Paris, they could find it. But I'm afraid that they're going to just say no, thank you. I'd rather that they tell us what it is.
Yeah, we want to get as
need
much info.
somebody. Yeah.
If everyone comes in at 7 and somebody's in at 6, 700, also,
Yeah, exactly.
that's right now, 600, outrage.
Yes.
So,
So that's where we are. But if we have nothing else, do we have a motion to end the meeting?
So moved.
Thank you so much.
I'm really,
Oh.
I'm really.
on the way out the door.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Gene. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Jean, for all your work.
Everybody. Thank you.
Hopefully I'll see you in October in person.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, your work too.
Yes, of course.
My pleasure.